Welcome to Daytime Stories with Jeri. That's me. And today we have a great book for you. It's one of my favorite authors. His name is Ezra Keats. He wrote a story, and most of his stories are set in Brooklyn. That's way out in New York. And when I was a kid, I didn't know anything about New York. I lived in California. I knew a little bit about snow, but I didn't know about blizzards and super snow like they know about in New York. So his books and his stories always gave me a new insight to a place that I didn't know. So today, if you're not from Brooklyn, never been to New York, take heed of what's in this book because it's some beautiful pictures, some fun adventure, and you'll learn a little bit about the East Side. All right, this is Goggles by Ezra Keats. Goggles. Archie, look what I found, Peter shouted through the pipe. Motorcycle goggles. Archie watched Peter through the hole. He listened and smiled. Peter ran to the hideout and put on the goggles. Aren't they great, he asked. Archie smiled and nodded. Peter said, let's go over to your house and sit on the steps. Archie nodded. They started off. Suddenly, some big boys appeared. Give us those goggles, kid. No, they're mine, Peter said. His dog Willie growled. Archie, hold Willie, said Peter. Peter stuffed the goggles into his pocket and put up his fists. Archie gasped. Peter turned to see if something was wrong. The next thing he knew, he was knocked to the ground. Everyone stared at the goggles. Who do you think is going to get the goggles? Before anyone could move, Willie snatched the goggles and ran through the hole in the fence. The big boys chased after him. Meet you at the hideout, whispered Peter. You go this way, I'll go that way. They won't know where we're going. Willie will find us. Peter raced to the hideout. He sank down as low as he could. Footsteps. The big boys. They followed me. Peter held his breath. Archie! What was that? Archie looked through the hole. And there were the big boys, and there was Willie. They would see him. Oh my goodness, do you guys think he's gonna get found? Do you think he's gonna get caught? Archie stared at the pipe. Suddenly he spoke. Hey, here, Willie. Through the pipe, fast. Willie! Look it, he made it through the pipe. With the goggles. Peter peeked through the hole. The big boys were coming closer and closer. Oh no. Peter took a deep breath. Then he yelled through the pipe. Willie, meet us at the parking lot. Head for the parking lot, one of the big boys yelled. Let's go. Peter, Archie, and Willie crept out of the hideout. When they reached the fence, they got up and ran. They got to Archie's house. Archie laughed and said, we sure fooled them, didn't we? We sure did, said Peter, handing him the goggles. Things look real fine now, Archie said. They sure do, said Peter. Look at their neighborhood, playing on the steps with the goggles. The end. Ezra Keats, you can start a collection of his books. He's won lots of awards. He does his own illustrations. That means he does his own pictures. So you'll recognize his art when you go to the library or the bookstore to pick up one of his books. They're always good and they have lots of adventure, and we hope that you like more and more of his books. Until next time, we'll see you guys later. We hope you have a little bit of adventure in your lives, And don't forget, click to subscribe so you can get next week's reading with Daytime Stories.